There will come a day, if it hasn't already, when you wake up and realize no one is coming to save you. No one cares that you're tired, that you're heartbroken, that you're trying your best. Life has been unfair. The world moves on whether you rise or fall, and for many men this truth feels cold. But in truth it's liberating, because if no one cares, then all the power, all the responsibility returns to you. You can wait, you can blame, you can cry out for someone to see you, understand you and fix you. Or you can look yourself in the mirror and say, this pain, this pressure, this silence, it is mine, and I will not be broken by it. I will be built by it. Because the Shaolin path teaches one thing very clearly. Adversity doesn't weaken the warrior, it reveals him. You want to be strong, start with this. Accept that the world doesn't owe you comfort, and stop expecting applause for your effort. Your results are your responsibility. Your discipline is your liberation, and your suffering is your sharpening. No one cares. Work harder. One of the greatest illusions is that life should be fair, that good things should come to good people, that effort guarantees a reward, that someone somewhere should see you struggling and say, here, let me make it easier. But life doesn't work that way. And the sooner you see that clearly, the sooner you stop wasting energy hoping for something that doesn't exist. Because here is the truth, the world does not owe you anything, not comfort, no recognition, not understanding, not love. And if you feel anger rise when you hear that ood, that anger is energy, that discomfort is your awakening. You've been taught to believe that if you're struggling, someone else should fix it, that if you fail, it must be someone else's fault, that if you're hurt, the world should move around your pain. But what the Shaolin path teaches is this: pain is part of life. Responsibility is part of growth, and reality is your greatest teacher. When you finally stop looking outward, when you stop expecting the world to carry you, you discover something incredible. You can carry yourself. You realize that your growth does not depend on external fairness, but on internal fire. It is not the world's job to understand you. It is your job to understand yourself. Not everyone will care about your struggle. Not everyone will support your goals. Not everyone will clap when you win, and that it is to your advantage. Because the man who needs no validation, who works without applause, he is a man who cannot be manipulated. He does not wait for permission. He does not pause for praise. He moves because it is his nature to move. When you stop expecting the world to be fair, you start becoming fiercely real. You train harder. You become quieter. You stop explaining your vision to people who aren't willing to see. You stop giving energy to complaints, to comparison, to entitlement. You start building, and when the voice in your head says it's not fair, you answer back, exactly, and that's why I will win. Because I don't need it to be fair, I just need to be focused. This is the Shaolin way, to move through the world without resentment, without complaint, without expectation. To train in the fire without asking why me, and instead whisper, try me. And maybe people won't notice. Maybe they won't see the hours you put in, the pain you endured, the strength you had to forge in silence. That's fine, because when the storm comes, when life gets hard, they will be looking for shelter. But you will be the one who walks through it, unshaken, unbent, unapologetic. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. So stop waiting. Stop wishing. Stand up, shoulders back, breathe steadily, and walk the path, knowing that you don't need the world to care. You just need to work harder. There is one truth: every man must face suffering is part of this life. You cannot outrun it, you cannot numb it forever, and you cannot avoid it by playing small. At some point you will be tested. Mentally, emotionally, physically. You will lose things you thought you could never live without. You will feel betrayed, overlooked, and forgotten. And in those moments, a voice inside will whisper, "Give up, this is too much, it's not worth it." And that voice will sound like the truth. But it is not. It is the echo of weakness that you inherited from a world that rewards comfort over courage. The Shaolin path does not promise a life free from pain. It promises a life where pain becomes purpose. Because suffering on its own is not noble, it is not virtuous, it is just energy. What you choose to do with it, that is what defines you. Some men use suffering as a shield, an excuse, a story they tell over and over again to justify why they remain where they are. They say, "You don't understand what I've been through." And they are right. But pain is not permission to stay weak. Pain is pressure applied to the mind and body to see what you are made of. So when it arrives, do not hide. Do not run, do not broadcast your misery for sympathy. Instead, listen, because suffering is not here to break you. It is here to reveal you. It is a mirror. It shows you where your attachments are, where your pride lives, where your inner world is still soft, still shaky, still untrained. And if you are wise, you do not try to escape the mirror. You stand in front of it, and you sharpen. You learn to breathe through the discomfort, to sit with the emotion, to act, not react. And slowly, day by day, you begin to see what most men never do, that your suffering has always held the seed of your strength. But you must choose. You can use your pain as a story that binds you, or as a weapon that builds you. One leads to bitterness, the other to power. The Shaolin monks train in snow, in silence, in solitude. Not because it is romantic, but because they understand. The man who trains with pain trains with truth. He is not afraid of being uncomfortable. He welcomes it. Because each drop of sweat, each pang of soreness, each disappointment, it is not the end. It is the beginning. So if you are suffering right now, good. It means you are alive. It means you are being shaped. It means the next version of you is almost ready. But it also means this: you have a decision to make. Will you let your suffering make you smaller, or will you let it make you sharper? Will you collapse and ask the world to rescue you, or will you rise and rescue yourself? There is no secret. There is no shortcut. There is only the silence and the work. And the longer you sit with your pain, without running, without blaming, without making it your identity, the more you will hear its message. You are not finished yet. So get up. One breath at a time, one step at a time, and keep walking, because no one cares. And that's the best news you'll ever hear. Now you are free to suffer with strength, to hurt with purpose, and to work harder anyway. We live in a world addicted to applause, to view, to recognition. Every action must be seen. Every effort is documented. Every success shared for validation. But the man on the true path, the warrior, he walks a different road. He understands that mastery is not public. It is private, invisible, quiet. You see, most people will never know the hours. They will never see the alarm clock ringing at 4:30 a.m. They will never see the workouts in silence, the repetition in pain, the meals skipped, the comfort denied. They won't see the tears, the nights you wanted to quit, the pressure you carry like a weight around your ribs. Because no one records those moments, they are yours alone, uncelebrated, unnoticed, unapplauded. But understand this deeply, that's where your power is built. It is not in the spotlight, it is in the shadows, when everyone else is asleep, and you are training when no one is clapping, and you are still moving. That is where unshakable strength is born. The Shaolin monk doesn't train to be seen, he trains to become, his form, his breath, his mind, all sharpened in repetition, not for praise but for presence. You must decide what kind of man you want to be, the kind who works harder when he is being watched, or the kind who works harder when no one is watching at all, because the truth is, no one cares about the hours. They care about the results. They don't care how many times you tried, only that you succeeded. They don't care how hard it was, only what you became because of it. That may sound cold to some, but it is freedom, because it means the work is for you, the process is yours, and the silence is sacred. So while others are waiting to be noticed, you are becoming a man who cannot be ignored. And when they finally see you, when they finally say, "How did he get there?" you will smile because you will know they didn't see the hours. But the hours are what made you. So don't train for the camera, train for the calling. Don't work to be celebrated. Work to be transformed, because the quiet hours are where discipline is built. And discipline is your only way out. Every push-up, every cold shower, every hour of focus, every sacrifice of comfort, it all matters, not because the world is watching, but because you are. And the man who watches himself with honesty, with discipline, with relentless focus, that man is building something real. He needs no permission, he needs no recognition, he just needs the work. So if you feel invisible right now, if you're doing everything right and no one notices, good. That means you are exactly where you should be, hidden, humble, becoming. Because when it's your time to rise, you won't need to ask for respect. You will be the result, and that's all they'll see. There is a time for emotion, and there is a time for execution. The difference between a boy and a man is this. The boy follows his feelings. The man follows his discipline. Because feelings are fleeting, they shift like the wind. Today you feel strong. Tomorrow you will feel weak. Today you feel inspired. Tomorrow empty. But discipline does not negotiate. It wakes up at the same hour. It trains through the same pain. It moves whether you're motivated or not. And this is what most do not understand. If you live by how you feel, you will never become powerful. But if you live by what you decide, you will become unbreakable. The Shaolin monk rises not because he feels ready, but because the rising itself is the path. He trains whether his body aches. He sits in meditation whether his mind resists. He repeats the form again and again, not because it's easy, but because it trains the soul. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and who do you say you want to become. Everyone wants to be strong. Few are willing to live the routine that makes it real. Everyone wants clarity. Few are willing to sit in stillness long enough to hear their mind. Everyone wants peace. Few are willing to confront the chaos inside themselves every single day. Discipline is not punishment. It is not a restriction. It is the ultimate act of self-respect. It is saying, I am worthy of structure. I am worthy of focus. I will not live at the mercy of distractions or moods. Because without discipline, pain leads nowhere. It becomes stagnation, bitterness, a cycle of almost. But with discipline, pain becomes fuel. Every drop of sweat has a purpose. Every repetition builds direction. Every hour of effort becomes a stone laid on the path of mastery. Do you understand what that means? It means you do not need to be extraordinary. You do not need to feel ready. You just need to show up. Every day, without excuse, without drama, because the moment you commit to that rhythm, that sacred, steady rhythm, you become dangerous. Not because you're loud, not because you seek approval, but because you cannot be thrown off. You are steady. You are precise. You are rooted. And that, my brother, is terrifying to the world that lives in chaos. Most men are lost in temptation, in delay, in talking about what they'll do someday. But you act. You move, you stay on the path, even when no one claps, even when the reward is far off in the distance. Because you know what they've forgotten, that pain is not your enemy, it is your gateway, and the key that opens that gate is discipline. So make this decision: no more negotiating with your weakness, no more apologizing for your ambition, no more asking for the way to be easier. Make yourself stronger, because you are capable, you are designed to endure. And everything you seek on the other side of pain, stability, strength, purpose, peace is waiting. But only for the man who is disciplined enough to cross that bridge. There comes a moment in every man's life when everything he thought he could count on begins to fall apart. The relationship ends, the money disappears, the friends fade away, the dream shattered, and in that silence, in that collapse, a question appears. Not from the world, but from within. What will you do now? Most people never answer. They numb it. They distract from it. They blame others to avoid facing themselves. But if you are here, if you are listening, then you already know. You cannot run anymore. You cannot hide behind excuses. And you cannot pretend this pain does not exist. You have two options: you can be broken, or you can be built. To be broken is easy. Let the pain define you. Let the loss become your identity. Tell the story over and over again. They left me. They hurt me. I was betrayed. But understand, no one is coming to fix it. No one is coming to hold your hand every night. This is your work now, and this pain, it has not arrived to destroy you. It has come to expose you, to show you the parts of yourself you have left untrained. The Shaolin understand this. They train not only the body, but the heart, the soul, the discipline of standing up again and again, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. You want strength. Then carry the weight of your wounds without turning bitter. You want respect. Then rebuild in silence and let the results speak for you. You want peace. Then stop fighting your past and start forging your future. The fire that burns you is the same fire that can forge you. But you must decide to use it. You must decide that the betrayal, the loss, the failure will not be your ending, but your beginning. No man is born powerful. He is built in hardship, in discipline, in choosing to stand tall while everything inside him screams to give up. Yes, you will have days when it all feels meaningless. Yes, you will doubt yourself. Yes, you will question why life is so hard. But the answer will always be the same, because life is not interested in comfort. It is interested in creation. It does not want you to stay the same. It wants you to become the version of yourself that you were always meant to be before the distractions, before the lies, before the world convinced you to shrink. That version of you is not soft. He is not weak. He does not wait for someone to rescue him from pain. He uses pain. He turns it into fuel. He says, I will show you who I am, not with words, but with actions. And he rebuilds. Brick by brick, hour by hour, in silence, in solitude, and one day the man who was broken becomes the man who cannot be broken again, because now he knows he is not his past, he is not his pain, he is not his story, he is his discipline. He is his character, he is his choice, so make the choice. Don't waste another breath living broken. Be built. There is one principle that separates those who rise from those who remain stuck. It is not talent. It is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is a movement, consistent, disciplined movement, not dramatic. Not loud, but quiet, relentless, steady, the man who keeps moving, no matter how broken, no matter how tired, cannot be defeated. Because life is designed to test you. It will throw walls in your path. It will whisper lies into your ear. You're not good enough. You're too late. Why even try? And if you listen, you will stop. You'll start negotiating, justifying, explaining your stagnation with poetic excuses. But the truth is simple. The moment you stop moving, you start dying. Your body decays without motion. Your mind collapses without challenge. Your spirit withers without pursuit. The Shaolin monks understand this not just as philosophy, but as a way of life. Their movement is their meditation. Their breath is their rhythm. Their purpose is in each step, each form, each strike, because they know when the mind begins to falter, when fear or fatigue creeps in, the body keeps going. And slowly the mind remembers, I am not done yet. You must train yourself the same way, to move when you feel heavy, to act when you feel numb, to rise even when no one calls your name. You do not need to move fast, you only need to move forward. Because every small step taken in pain, it is worth more than the giant leap taken in comfort. That's how power is earned, by those who refuse to stand still. Do you want to be respected? Keep moving. Do you want to be unshakable? Keep moving. Do you want to feel alive again? Then get up, right now, and move. Walk if you must, crawl if you must, but never sit and wait for life to feel fair. Because it won't. It's not supposed to. You are not being punished. You are being forged. This is what separates the warrior from the wounded. Not the absence of pain, but the refusal to stop because of it. There will be days when you do not feel progress. Keep moving. There will be days when doubt screams louder than belief. Keep moving. There will be days when no one sees your effort. Keep moving, because movement is not for the crowd. It is your contract with yourself. It says, I will show up, I will rise, I will outlast anything that tries to stop me. That is power. That is mastery. That is the kind of man the world cannot break. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, just move. Do the reps, make the call, write the sentence, walk the mile, and do it again tomorrow, because no one cares what you feel, but they will remember what you built. And that legacy, it belongs to the man who refused to sit still. So now the truth is in your hands. No one cares, and that is your gift, because if no one cares, then no one is stopping you. If no one expects anything from you, then you are free to become everything. If no one is watching, then this moment is yours alone to change your life. You've heard every word. Not as entertainment, but as a reminder that the pain you carry is not your enemy. The silence you walk through is not emptiness, it is sacred ground. And the struggle you're facing right now, it is preparing you for the version of yourself you keep dreaming about. But dreaming is not enough. You must move, you must choose, you must work, not tomorrow. not when life gets easier. Now, and if you felt something in your chest while listening, if a fire is beginning to wake up inside you, honor it. Don't let this message fade into the noise of your day. Take action, like this video, not for the algorithm, but as a commitment to yourself. Comment below what you're walking through right now, so that someone else sees they're not alone. Share this with a brother who's struggling, who forgot how powerful he is. Let's bring back honor, clarity, and strength into the lives of men. And if you want to walk this path with us, this path of discipline, mastery, and transformation, then subscribe. Not for vanity, but to stay connected to a mission bigger than you, because this isn't just a channel. It's a dojo for the modern warrior, a sanctuary for the disciplined few, a reminder that no matter what, you are not finished yet. Now, stand up, breathe, and keep moving.